Kitty Genovese was a young lady in her early 20s, living in New York City, and she was on her way home from work one night late. And actually, in the alleyway of her own apartment building, she was assaulted by a man. And it was found later that 38 people in her own apartment building heard Kitty Genovese's screams for help. Okay? They heard someone yelling for help. Kitty Genovese was down in the alley being assaulted and raped, stabbed with a knife. And 38 people heard her calling for help. And not a single one did anything to help her. Not even one of them picked up the phone to call 911. Not one of them stuck their head out the window to try to yell at the assailant to stop. No one went down there to help her. Okay? The assailant even left and came back and continued the assault, and no one helped her. He left again. She was able to crawl into her building, and eventually someone found her. Now, this example is being brought up because Thompson would ask, were those 38 people in the apartment building, good Samaritans? I don't think so. Were they even minimally decent Samaritans? Did they even meet the minimal standards of moral decency? Again, I think Thompson's answer is no. What a minimally decent Samaritan would have done would have been to pick up the phone and call 911. Maybe a good Samaritan would have gone down to the alley to try to help Kitty Genovese. But in reality, none of those 38 people were punished by the law. Okay? And that's because, according to Thompson, the law does not require people to be good Samaritans. The law rarely even requires people to be minimally decent Samaritans. Okay? And according to Thompson, this is important because to require a mother, a woman, to give up use of her body to an unwanted fetus is asking her to be a good Samaritan. It's asking her to do something above and beyond what's morally required. Okay? At minimum, the minimally decent Samaritan is not required to carry this pregnancy to full term. The minimally decent Samaritan merely, according to Thompson, has to not give consent to being pregnant. That is to say, if a mother or a couple do not give consent to being pregnant, and maybe more specifically, if they take precautions against getting pregnant, then they have met the standards of minimal decency, and they can be considered minimally decent Samaritans, even if they go on to abort that fetus, to have an abortion. Because by taking precautions and by refusing to give consent to pregnancy, they have met, according to Thompson, the standards of minimal decency. If they take precautions against getting pregnant and they choose to still go through with the pregnancy to full term and have this child, then they are being perfect Samaritans. They are being angels in Thompson's perspective. They are going above and beyond what is morally required. But what's morally required can be satisfied by not giving consent. And thus, you can be a minimally decent Samaritan while having an abortion. That's the relevance of this concept. And I hope I've made some sense of it. If you have questions, let me know or voice them in the discussion board area.